Namaste. How are you doing? I hope that you are doing wonderful. So, this is a continuation of the question that was asked me about what is witches, what about witches, and what about warlocks, dark magic, voodoo, witchcraft, yellow magic, blue magic, pink magic, purple magic, and all the summoning of spirits. Now, I'm going to try my very best to explain this. This is in my experience. So, I'm going to say this again. When you hear these words, the occult, when you hear these words, the occult, dark magic, blue magic, yellow magic, pink magic, purple magic, when you hear these words, witchcraft, witches, when you hear these words, are these something that is in your experience? Or is this something that has been taught to you? Something that you have read? Or something that you saw on TV? Are these things in your experience? They are in my experience. I can tell you exactly what they are. Now, usually before growing up, all the time I hear my parents, because I come from a very superstitious country, I hear my parents talk about witchcraft, obia, voodoo, and they program your mind into fearing these things. They tell you it's of the devil. Anything associated with the devil is you automatically develop fear for it. Now, were these things in my experience, or was I just frightened into fearing them? I was frightened into fearing them. Okay, it's just like I was frightened into fearing God. It's just like I was frightened into fearing any little folklore caricature that was created by my parents in order to get me to behave. Did I see these things? Did I have encounter with these things that I was taught to be? It's just like we were taught to believe Santa Claus, but then we grew up and we realized, hey, we become awakened, enlightened, that nobody's climbing through the chimney and nobody's putting milk, eating the cookies and the milk from under the tree. Nobody is doing it. I just saw my father sneak in the back and he did it. So we garnish information and knowledge towards certain things that we have been told, and we uncover them with. So when we choose to ask questions, and when we choose to look for knowledge and information about certain topics that we are interested in discovering, we will see that the same way that you began to disbelieve that there is no Santa Claus because you gain information, you became more knowledgeable, is the same way all these things that you fear, the fear will lose its power, because then you will gain information and knowledge about what they truly are. Now, when it comes to, I already explained in my previous video, but I don't mind speaking about things over and over and over. Repetition is the key to deprogram the mind. When it comes to the occult, when you hear the word occult and witchcraft, and when you hear the word, that I'm not doing Google, I'm not reading any book, I'm talking from experience, from my life experience. I can go to Google, but I'm not going to. And so when you hear these words, you will go and look for a definition that is written on Google, Wikipedia, and that will be your belief. Okay? Because you read it, it is true. Now, from my experience, what is the occult? The occult is a lot just like witchcraft. What they call witchcraft is a type of science. It's a type of technology. Okay, that is the occult. It's a type of technology, a type of science. Of what? What kind of science are you talking about, huh? It's the science of the mind. The same way I told you that witchcraft, or that which they call witchcraft, is nothing more than using the mind, thought, an image, thought, intention, and emotion to create something out of nothing, or to move and manipulate energy. That is what witchcraft is, with your mind. No devil needed. So no spirits, no demons needed. You are a spirit. You are the spirit with the power. So the occult is the same thing. For example, if I want to send you a message, I can send you a message from here. No telephone needed. No telephone needed. That's the occult. No telephone needed. No Apple needed, no email needed. I can send you a message from here. I can make something from here appear to you with my mind. That is the occult. And because these things seem so strange for people, they say, oh, it is evil, it is of the devil. No, it's a science. That's all it is. It's science. I am using my thought to manipulate energy. That is what is called evil. That's what oh, she's got the power of the devil. See, back in the days when people did not have enough information, and when there was limited information, and people see things appear from out of nowhere, they automatically think there's a force, a dark force that are making these things happen. And this followed us into this time and this era, and we believe what they believed long time ago, that these things are evil, these things are not evil. These things are within everyone's experience if they only pay attention to it. If you pay attention to how your thoughts work, maybe you're not as a powerful focuser as other people, but if you pay attention to the way you're thinking, and then you look around you and you will see the manifestation of your thoughts all around you, you will see that even you are practicing witchcraft, because you're using your mind and you're making the manifestation of your thoughts happen all around you. You will see your wife behaving a certain kind of way. You see your husband behaving a certain kind of a way. I bet you right now, if you have a husband and you are constantly worried and worried and worried if that husband is going to cheat on you, I bet you he's cheating on you. And I bet you that you would not even realize that you are the one doing it with your thoughts. Yes, your thoughts. Your thoughts is a vibration, okay? Your thoughts is a vibration. And when you begin to worry and fear and dread something, you're creating that very same thing. Your energy, your thoughts is sending out a powerful vibration, and it's affecting other energy around you. So that vibration is going to your husband. Your husband might get up and not wonder. Your husband might get up and wonder, why the heck do I feel like cheating right now? You're sending him a thought form. And it's a powerful thought form, because the emotion behind the thought form is fear. And fear is a powerful emotion. He will get up and he will wonder. And even if it doesn't happen right away, a situation will represent itself in your husband's life, and he will find himself being unfaithful. And he will probably wonder, why? Well, did you have that fear in your mind so powerfully? Maybe because it happened to you in the past, and you held on to that fear in your heart, and you carried it into your next relationship, and that fear stayed with you. This I'm talking from experience as well. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about. So that is why it's very good to heal from any past relationship, so that you not bring those vibrations in your new relationship, because you're going to create the same circumstances all over again. Is it that you are bad lucky? Is it because that you have a hex on you, or is it because you have a bad man? No, it's you have those vibrations. You are carrying the vibrations in your thoughts, and your thoughts is manifesting around you, and it is vice versa too. Okay, it's not the only the man that cheat, the woman cheat too. So heal from any past wounds, so that when you come into a relationship, you come into it with trust, you come into it with love, you come into it with expectancy. There is no fear of anything. Don't create your reality. We are the ones creating our reality. Don't create it. So the occult is the same thing, just like witchcraft. Thought. Manifesting your thoughts, manifesting something out of nothing, manipulating energy, powerful focusing. That's what it is. Okay? You will find any yogi or any mystic, they will tell you the very same thing that I am telling you. Now we don't really need the occult that much, like back in the day. Way back centuries ago, where the occult was very popular. We don't need it now because we have cell phone. I don't need to sit and meditate to transmit you a message. I don't need to sit and meditate. I will just send you and text you. Messenger, FaceTime. I manifested for my mother lots and lots and lots of barrels, because she's in Central America, and I held it in my mind that I want her to be blessed with barrels and barrels and barrels and barrels and barrels. And I did this for I forgot, maybe a few months, just visualizing in my mind barrels and barrels and barrels and barrels of things, just food, clothes, all kind of things, because people from Central America like when they get things from America. So I just held that in my mind. Now, I did not specifically visualize who will do this for her. I just envisioned barrels and barrels and barrels and barrels. She's getting barrels and barrels, food, clothes, good stuff, because she likes that stuff. And 3 months later, her sister, who never spoke to her for years and years and years, is sending her barrels and barrels and barrels and barrels and barrels. And of course, my mother is saying, God is helping me. God is helping me. God is helping me. Thank you. God is helping me. And I told her, no, I helped you. It wasn't God. Well, then God is within us. So yes, it was God. But I told her, no, I held it in my mind and I wanted you to have that. I don't know who was going to give it to you, but somebody was going to give it to you. And even now, she's still getting barrels and barrels. This sister that she had never spoke to her for years, never wanted anything to do with her for years. And all of a sudden, this sister is just talking to her and sending her barrels, sending her stove, sending her furniture, sending her from New York. And that is what the occult is. The using of the mind to cause people to behave in a way that they don't even know why they're doing it. But the occult can be used for good and it can be used for evil. The same way I can have someone bless her is the same way I can have someone hurt her. And that is why the occult has more of a evil, it's of the devil, it's of Satan kind of a vibe to it, because people use it more for the negative instead of for the positive. You use it for the positive. I did this more than one time. I do it all the time. Okay, just the other day I was somebody didn't speak to me for quite some time, and I just meditated and I sent them a message. I want to speak to you. And you know what, the person, and I specifically had in my mind how I want this person to contact me. And it was, I said, you're going to contact me on my YouTube videos. And just yesterday, bam, there was a message from this person. They contacted me and sent me their number on my YouTube videos. And I called them and we spoke for 7 hours. I almost passed out from hunger because I have not spoken to this person for so many years. That is what the occult is. The power of the mind to transmit a powerful vibration and cause other things to happen. People won't know why they're doing it. People won't understand why they're doing it, but they're going to do it. And so that is the occult. No Lucifer is necessary. Okay, all the power is within you, and it is thought and emotion. Now, when it comes to the conjuring up of spirits and the uses of spirits, now this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to explain, but I'm going to try. So, I'm going to tell you what spirits are by first saying this. You are a spirit. Everything is spirit. Everything was first spirit before it was made into a physical form that is before your eyes. And this physical form is still more spirit than it is a physical thing. But I'm not going to get into that deeply. I'm just going to say everything was first spirit before it was physical, before your eyes. Before you can hold anything, it was first energy, pure energy. And then it was spirit. And just remember this, energy cannot be destroyed, nor can it die. Once it is created, it is created. Once it has manifested, it has manifested. You probably cannot see it before your eyes, but it exists. Okay? It's just like we cannot see our energy centers, but they are there. Can you see your energy centers? Can you see your chakras? All you have to do is place your attention and your awareness and intention, and guess what you feel? Your energy centers, they're always there. Spirit is everywhere. So, let me try to explain the conjuring up of spirits. Now, remember this one thing. Everything is spirit, I said that, and everything is consciousness. You are energy with consciousness. You are a lump of energy with consciousness, and that consciousness can think. Okay, so now there have been people in our in the eras, in the olden days, who were like myself. They have the ability to take thought and create. Thought and create. Now these people, I believe they call themselves yogis. They call themselves shamans. They call themselves priests or priestesses, and they have the powerful ability to hold an image in their mind and create it. They can create something out of nothing. They can do this. Now, these people who are yogis or enlightened people like the Buddha or the Christ, they could hold an image in their mind of whatever they believe to be their God. For example, let's say the Buddha or the Buddha, let's use the Buddha because it's more of a thing in their region too. They have more of this in their region, where let's say the Buddha held an image in his mind, which is Shiva. That is one of the gods over there. And if Buddha held this image in his mind, which is Shiva, and or there's another god in India called Kali, I believe. And if they held this image in their mind and concentrated upon it with focus, they will create that image, even if that image is only a drawing. All they have to do is hold it in their mind, and they will create that image. It will appear to you, it will appear to other people. What they're doing is they're taking their thoughts and they're taking the energy all around them, which is all around us, and creating a form out of it, because everything is energy. You are energy with consciousness. Everything is energy. Now, all throughout the years, yogis and men like these have been creating these deities that they believe to be the ones who are responsible for everything, like the Mayans, who believe that there's a sun god, a rain god, and you see all the depictions of them all over the place. Now, these gods don't necessarily look like that in all originality. Someone's imagination believed that that is what they look like, and someone who had the power and the ability to focus and created them from their imagination. How do I know this? Okay, when I was 8 years old, these powerful abilities began to manifest themselves. It was at this age that most things began to manifest themselves in my reality. When I was 8 years old, all of the supernatural things began to happen in that age. So there was this group of people in our town, I believe it was the Illuminati or a secret society group, that would meet at the bottom of the house and have their worship, and you would hear grunts and groans and chanting and groaning and growling and a long chain dragging, and people were making the weird sounds. They were dressed in black and white, have secret rings and secret handshakes, and the word around the town was that they were worshiping the devil. Even my mother was afraid, and my mother was a very powerful spiritual woman. It's where I got it from, okay? And she was afraid. If I see my mother afraid and I know what kind of woman she is, I was like, oh, they must be worshiping some powerful dark thing. So anyways, they would do that once a week, and they would frighten all the children all around the area. But I was the kind of child who was super sensitive and hyper curious. So I did not want to go to sleep that night because they had just done their worshiping, and I was so very afraid. And I laid there on the floor trying to crawl my way through the keyhole to get into my parents' room because I was so afraid, because of the devil worshippers were like right down the street, and I was afraid to fall asleep. And so I couldn't go to sleep. It's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't go. I don't know, it was very late because everybody else was sleeping. So I know maybe it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I laid on the floor next to my parents' room door that was locked, afraid to fall asleep. And I was imagining in my mind, what kind of creature are those people worshiping in that house? I said, I heard a chain, I heard growls, I heard scratching and crawling, and my little 8-year-old mind began to create the image that I believe they were worshiping from the sounds that came out of the house. So my mind heard the growling, so my little 8-year-old mind created a big demonic looking dog-like creature with large fangs and large claws and just like a big beast with 4 legs, and of course the chain that I heard coming out of the house whenever these people would have their whatever secret society meeting. I imagine this creature had this chain as well, and that image was in my little 8-year-old mind, and I just was so afraid to even move because this image in my mind was so real, and it was just from my imagination, but it was so real. And I just lay there on the floor afraid to move because I want my parents to open their door, because those people down the street, that worshiping thing that they do, I can't take it, because the image of what I imagine is in my mind. It wasn't too very long after that when this very creature that I created with my mind started coming down the street. Yes. And it started to attack people and animals. And it came, and I laid there frozen like this, and I said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And in my soul, I could tell it was connected to me. I just didn't know how it was connected to me, but it was connected to me. It was coming to me. I created it. It was coming to its creator. And it was ripping up dogs and anybody on the street, just throwing them everywhere. It was a powerful, powerful creature, frightening. And it came right to the bottom of my parents' stairs, opened the gate, and started coming up the stairs, wanting to get to me. I almost had a heart attack at 8 years old. I almost had a heart attack. I was afraid of my own creation. I created what I would consider a demon. Yes, I did. Because of what they told me was in the house, and what they told me those people worship, I became afraid of it. And because I didn't know I had this ability, I didn't know that what I hold in my mind with powerful intention and emotion will be created. I didn't know it. The ability was just doing whatever the heck it wants to do. If I held that image and that emotion at the same time, I was creating things. It wasn't the first time it happened. I was terrorized throughout my childhood by my own creation. Anything that I feared, that I held in my mind, I would create it. Now, this thing that I created would have been considered a demon. And it wasn't, once, like I told you, once energy is created, it cannot be destroyed. That creature that I created became a part of a collective consciousness. It is out there somewhere. You cannot destroy energy. I took my thoughts and created something from an energy field. Energy cannot be destroyed. That creature is out there somewhere, and it better not be looking for its creator, because it's all right. I will create something more beautiful. I don't want that. I was a child. I was innocent. It wasn't the only first thing that I created. Anything that my parents scared me with or tried to scare me with as a child to behave, I created it. And it showed up. I saw a movie like this on Netflix that brought me some closure to the fact that I thought, okay, I knew this. And the name of the movie is called The Canker Man, where this little boy's mother had cancer and she died. And this little boy had these very same abilities to create things from emotion and thought. But anyways, you can look it up on Netflix, called The Canker Man, or Amazon Prime. It's Netflix. So that would be considered the conjuring of spirits. Anybody who would have saw me, if they knew and they saw me do something, that's why I have been called a witch since I was very small. Anybody who would have seen me do something like that would have said, I'm using dark magic, I'm using the occult, I am using blue magic, purple magic, and yellow magic, and green magic. But the thing is this, all that I did at 8 years old was I was afraid of my own imagination. And when you have those abilities, and you don't even have to have those abilities, so I won't even keep saying that as if I'm special or something. Anybody this can happen to. Anybody. There's so many people who will give you account of seeing things and things appear to them out of the corner of their eye. There are so many, and here's the thing when it comes to spirits. Now let's go to spirits. Spirits are all around us all the time. People die, but what you think is death is not death, okay? People, when they hear the word death, they think that you go somewhere so far away, maybe to a heaven so far, or maybe to a hell, according to religion. But the thing is this, when you die, you don't go anywhere. No, everything is a consciousness. When you die, you go to a higher level in that consciousness, a higher vibration in that consciousness. All that a human being has to do when we're in this dimension is raise our vibration, raise our energy, and we can connect with anyone who has ever existed, be it the Christ, the Buddha, if they have not reincarnated, and we can connect with them. You can connect with anyone, and these people are at a higher vibration. They are at how do I know this? Because that is in my experience. My sister passed away in 2015. When she passed away in 2015, I was here in Alaska. I was sitting in my living room when I got the news that she passed away. When I got the news that she passed away, it kind of jolted me, which jolted my mind, which messed with my consciousness. When that happened, I could feel my sister everywhere in my room. She filled up the entire room. I was turning around to try to see, is she going to appear? Because that is how it felt, like she's in the room. But she didn't appear. But all of her spirit, all of her energy was in the living room, but she was already dead. Now, I know for a fact this is true, because when I had that spiritual experience, which is the consciousness transcending to other dimensions, which is the equivalent of death, that is true. Your consciousness expands throughout the entire universe. You are not gone anywhere. The only reason why people fear death is because you have been programmed to fear death. Through the media, through TV, through religion. Death is not a fearful thing at all. Death is nothing to fear. Matter of fact, there is not even any pain in death. People who are afraid of People who are afraid of the dead, you should not be afraid of the dead. And you should not listen to people who scare you into believing that there are demons out there waiting for you when you die. That is not true. If any kind of demon appeared to you, if you've ever had an experience where something that looked like a demon appeared to you, that is your own fear within you. It's, for example, I used to watch people smoke marijuana or do different kind of drug. I watch them, then I see them acting crazy because what's happening to them is that their fear, the mind has been messed with so powerfully by these psychedelic drugs that whatever they fear is appearing to them as real. Whatever you see appeared to you that looks like a demon and you say it was real, it is the fear that is within you, something that you believe, that you have held in your imagination, and it became a part of your memory. Now you take a certain drug. If you take a certain drug, or if you have a certain emotional disorder, these images will project themselves, and you will see them as if they are real, but they are just a part of you. Everything is a part of you. Every demon, every angel, anything, spirit that you see, is coming from within you. And it cannot hurt you because it is your imagination that is creating it. Something that looks like a ghost. Have you seen anything that looks like a ghost? Is an energy field that is trying to take form. Or it's a consciousness trying to take energy and make itself be seen. That is what that is. If you see anything that looks like a spirit, everything is energy.